guys, I thought it would be interesting to do a breakdown of this music video I shot, and I want to touch on the pre-production, the gear we used, the crew we hired, and the cinematography breakdown. I got the job through a director I've worked with before. His name is Zach Wilson. Amazing dude. I love working with Zach. I think we resonate in the type of work we've always been going for and trying to achieve. So I've always appreciated working with him, and this was a fun one because it kind of gave us creative freedom to do what we wanted to do. So jumping into the pre-pro, this was really interesting because the shoot was in Colorado and we couldn't get a location to scout, but we got a bunch of pictures of the space. We knew we wanted to do 3 different looks for 3 different songs in the same space. I studied these images of the space and we knew we wanted it to be a one take. So that was a challenge in itself. We really liked this one corner of the room. I just thought that was really interesting with the wood and the piano. There's a lot of opportunity. I pitched to Zach some of these frames and I said, hey, like, what do you think of this warmer tungsten blue contrast, tonal contrast vibe? And he really liked it. So I went ahead and started having some ideas of how we can do that, and with the space of how we would kind of create those little pockets of light. So touching on the crew, I've been following this guy on Instagram with the name of Colorado Gaffer. I sent his page to Zach. I was like, I'm assuming this guy's in Colorado and he's a really good gaffer. Zach reached out to him and he was on board, and he kind of helped us crew from there. He gave us some recs for the key grip and the grip/swing and the AC. It was just a collaborative environment. The gear we were using, we were running a C500 Mark II, which was Zach's, paired with Movi, and then we rented some Cook Pancros out from a rental house called MP&E, and we also had, I believe it was 1/8 of Promise. Some of the technical specs, we were shooting full frame on the C500, and the Cook Pancros are not full frame, but we wanted to get that 4x3 look, so we just cropped into 4x3 because the 16x9 you get the crazy vignetting. And I think we were using the 32mm the entire time for all the shoots, and I mean they're all just one take, so we couldn't switch lenses, but I think that was kind of the happy medium. So to touch on the actual cinematography breakdown, this one was a really fun one, too light, and obviously with Tyler there, it was super collaborative. That's what I sent to Tyler, and then he kind of took it from there and made a game plan. I wasn't very picky of how the ambience was coming in, so he did a Cream Source Vortex 8 into an 8x Ultra Bounce. On the other side, he had the Nanlite 60C into a 4x Ultra Bounce floppy. He has this really cool article title is using tonal contrast to add depth in an image. For me, scenes like this feels like painting with light, cliche of the day, which each fixture is a brush with its own characteristics and abilities. And I fully agree with that. There's like so many different nuances, and you're just adding little tiny strokes to the canvas and little layers and pockets of light to add depth. If you want, check out the article. I'll leave a link in the description. But anyways, yeah, we had this Light Matte 4 overhead wrapped with, I believe it was unbleached muslin, and we had it skirted so it wouldn't spray everywhere. And this was kind of interesting getting dialed in because we originally had it kind of more toppy, and it was getting too much spill on the camera side of Joel and Dave. So we wanted a little bit more shape, so we ended up putting it farther behind them and then angling it towards them so it was a far side key. So then we had 2 Astera tubes back here, just as practicals, and I wanted them very subtly, just so you barely notice them. I didn't want it to take charge over the image, or I don't even want your eyes to really notice. I just kind of wanted it to fall off in the background. Next we had, Tyler recommended it. It was a Nanlite 60C. I really like what it did, and it just feels like a door is open back there, or moonlight is coming through the window, and it adds so much more texture versus if that was off. And then in the back window we also had more blue ambience coming from an Astera tube. And then on top of the staircase, we had an Aperture 300X with a Lico. I love bringing spotlight mounts on almost all of the shoots I do. Then another thing was a Light Matte 2L, and this was to wrap the light a little bit more on Joel, so it wasn't so toppy. Get that nice Rembrandt and the light filling in on that side a little bit more. That's all I got for you guys. Let me know if I should do a breakdown on some of the other videos and what you think. See you guys. Thanks.